At Westpac New Zealand, we've always been committed to paying our staff fairly and equally, regardless of gender. Men and women should have equal access to the same earning opportunities across society, and large employers like Westpac have a role to play in creating these opportunities. Having a balanced distribution of men and women across all levels of an organisation enables greater diversity of thought and helps to harness the widest possible range of life experiences and thinking when it comes to making decisions. This is good for us here at Westpac, and we believe ultimately it's good for our customers and the community.
Our gender pay gap is measured in two main ways. Firstly, we look at a pay equity measure. Basically, this tests that we are paying men and women equally for equal work they do. At Westpac, we compare these across 13 different pay bands. The data shows that we are paying men and women roughly equally for the work they do in similar roles. So we're pretty happy on this metric, and it's something we keep chipping away at every year.
The second measure is designed to assess our gender pay gap. It compares the men and women based on median pay. On this metric, our gender pay gap is 30.3%. We use the median because it is the international standard, and we measure total pay, including variable elements like bonuses and superannuation contributions, because they are all key parts of our remuneration and what we provide to get a full picture.
At Westpac, the gender pay gap largely reflects historical structural characteristics which are common to not only the banking industry, but to society in general. Simply put, for us, women are more likely to be highly represented in junior positions and in departments where pay is lower. For Westpac, that is roles such as our branch network and our contact centres.
Men have higher proportion of roles in specialist areas like technology or corporate and institutional banking, and pay in these areas are higher. This is an example of what is known as occupational segregation. Historically, you could think about other industries with occupational segregation. For example, across airline industries, more men are pilots and cabin crew are predominantly women.
We've made a number of tangible commitments towards closing our gender pay gap. These include things like lifting the proportion of the top 3 tiers of management to 50% women. Right now we're at 37%. We'll also continue to publish our gender pay gap annually and look at ways of achieving better gender balance across all levels of the bank.
Early in 2019, we started a project that had 2 streams. Firstly, we engaged with Deloitte to provide guidance on how we should approach the issue of gender pay. Secondly, we were deliberately open and transparent by externally publishing our own report. This report revealed our gender pay gap, broke it down in various ways, and set out our commitments towards closing it.
We started with a firm belief that you can only really make positive change by being bold. The feedback that we've got has been really pleasing from customers, staff and the business community. The media made a real effort to understand and explain the difference between things like pay equity and the gender pay gap, and this has helped increase the understanding of the issue. It's been a starting point for us to be open about our gender pay gap, but we think this announcement is just a first step.
For practical advice about understanding this complex topic, the Deloitte report, Bridging the Gap, Westpac New Zealand Gender Pay Report, can be found on our website. It's important to be able to articulate the difference between pay equity and the gender pay gap.
Once you've established the underlying factors behind your gender pay gap, I recommend that you work out what to do to address these factors in future, set some clear plans of action. Above all, I recommend that people be brave, honest, and create a starting point. If businesses tackle this like any other business problem, they'll take clear action, they'll start measuring it and work out ways to address the problem.